Hello, friends. Welcome to another Stamp With Me Tuesday. Tonight, I have a super quick and easy card sketch for you that is also a fun fold, but like the simplest fun fold you could possibly imagine. And I'm going to be using some brand new stamps tonight. Stampin' Up! Just released some online exclusives today, and so I can't wait to share those with you as well. If you are here and watching me live, let me know in the comments if you have checked out some of Stampin' Up's new online exclusives that just came out today, or if you have not jumped over there to see them yet. If you're watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. I hope you'll leave me a comment and let me know if you have taken a moment to go check out those new stamps and papers and embellishments and all the good stuff that is now available. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist by using stamps, ink, and paper to create beautiful handmade cards and gifts, just like the card we are going to make tonight. So let me make my workspace look just a little bit bigger. If you're here, leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here and watching. Let me know that everything is good. There's no sound problems, all that kind of good stuff. I want to start by showing you this super suite. So it's a super suite, which means it has two stamp sets, two sets of dies, lots of stuff in it. It has an embellishment, which is these Pearls of Beauty. And they're so pretty. They're like, it's hard to see. We'll open them, but they're shiny. They're crumb cake, calypso coral, and white. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Bethany and Amy. Welcome. So glad you guys are here. There is a embossing folder, this beautiful patterned 3D embossing folder, which is also just fabulous. Two stamp sets. So there is the Words of Beauty stamp set, which is all words. And it has this just because, and it has smaller just because too. And then kind, sweet, you're a great friend. It's your birthday. I appreciate you. I think you're amazing. Lovely. I love you. You've been on my mind. So you can say you're so kind, you're so sweet, you're so lovely, all those kind of things. And then it has dies. The dies cut out 3 different bubblynesses. So a really fine script, and then kind of a medium bubble and a bigger bubble to cut out just and because, and then some little tag pieces that are going to fit the smaller sentiments. I have taken these, they come separately, but I have taken my dies and my stamps and put them in the same envelope. So this is the new packaging that Stampin' Up! Is now coming out with. They are slowly transitioning over to all of their stamps coming in this style of packaging, as well as all of their stamps being the clear photopolymer stamps. And so they fit really well. You can fit both of them right in the same package and store it that way. So that's that. And then this super suite also has the Petals of Beauty stamp set, which is this gorgeous floral set. It is a 2-step stamping. It has that photorealistic quality to some of the stamps as well. And then it has dies as well that cut out all your different flowers, leaves, etc. And of course, there is designer series paper. Hello, Jean and Jill. This is my favorite paper too. You can tell because I had a full pack just mere weeks ago. I had a full pack. This is all I pretty much have left. I have a couple of smaller pieces than this as well of this piece. I have been using this so much. It's a beautiful floral on the back. It has this great crumb cake and vanilla stripe. So there's that one. I've also used a ton of this one, which is this gorgeous floral on, it's like vanilla on crumb cake. It's just so beautiful. And then the back is Mossy Meadow as well. And then the pieces I have not used as much, which is this fun yellow. This one I've used a bunch of as well. We have some more florals. We have this is the same, these little branches of flowers. This one's in crumb cake. Oh, I pulled out 2 of those. Didn't mean to do that. And then we have kind of like I don't know, it looks like wallpaper to me. On the other side, we have this nice like dotted. We have some just like brushed petal pink, some brushed green. I think this is Lost Lagoon. and then some brushed Calypso coral. So all really pretty papers. It's going to be so much fun to work with. And I've already been having a blast with it. So let's get to our card sketch. I want to show you, first of all, here's the supplies that you should have. These are listed in the description to this video. They also are listed over on my website. There's also a free downloadable project sheet that you can print out there that will show you the card sketch, a sample. It has all the measurements, so you can like download that, save it. I know some people put it in a binder and keep all those, so you can do that too. You should have a piece of white or vanilla cardstock. I have vanilla. This is 4 1/4 by 5. A little piece of pattern paper that's 1 inch by 5 1/2 inch. A little piece of cardstock that is 3/4 inch by 5 1/2 inch. Another piece of cardstock. This is 3 1/4 inch by 5 1/2. And then a piece of cardstock that is 7 1/2 by 5 1/2 and is scored at either, you can say 3 1/4 or 4 1/4, whichever way you want to measure it. Now I'm going to show you the card sketch before we get started too far. So here is what my sketch looks like. Isn't that cute? And this is where you can see it's a fun fold. It's just, you know, it's just not all the way over to one side, which is so pretty. And then that designer series paper ends up being on the inside. I made this one out of neutral colors. And actually when I got done with it, I was like, wow, that's pretty just like it is. I want to finish it into an actual card. But anyway, there's our sketch. Let's start putting this together. And of course, I have lots of samples for you. So I'm going to take my piece of 7 1/2 by 5 1/2 inch cardstock, and I'm just going to fold it on that score line. And you can already see that it is too short on one side, right? It's supposed to be like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere my white or vanilla cardstock to the inside. Now, this, you can stamp it first if you want to, right? So if you want to stamp something on this, you can stamp on it first. I'm not going to, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it right inside to get started. And then I'm going to take my piece of patterned paper and I'm going to adhere this all the way over to that right edge, right on top of my vanilla. I'm using vanilla tonight. I don't use vanilla very often. Do y'all use vanilla very often? Let me know. Let me know if you use vanilla a lot or if you hardly ever think about pulling it out, because I know myself, I hardly ever think about pulling it out. I think my crumb cake is just a little bit bigger than 5 1/2, and I'm going to give it a little trim just to get it right. Hello, Ruth and Jennifer, Judy, and so glad you guys are here. All right, I'm going to give this just a little trim because I think it's just a little bit too big and it's going to bother me. Ooh, and it was cut crooked. That's probably why. All right, we're just going to trim that up. Oh, so much better. My vanilla is not quite in the right spot now, but not enough to bother me. And you don't use it either as very much. Yeah, you just don't think about it as much. So there is that. Now I'm going to grab my other piece of coordinating cardstock, and I used Calypso coral for this. I'm actually going to open this up to do this because I want to get it so it just a little bit hangs over. And you'll see why in just a minute. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue down the right side of that. I'm going to take my cardstock here. I'm going to put a bead of glue down that little edge there. And then I'm just going to line this up. And I just want it to overlap just a tiny little bit. That's why I like green glue, so you can shift it around, get it into place where you want it. Okay. Now it looks pretty big on the front. That's okay. We're going to cover that up in just a minute. This is where you need your 3 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece. If you didn't want to do this next step, you don't have to. I think it's kind of fun though. So I'm going to grab that beautiful pattern 3D embossing folder. Yeah, Jennifer, you're right. They just don't use it a lot in the DSP, and so you don't think about using it. If you don't know what DSP is just Stampin' Up lingo for pattern paper. So, all right, I'm putting this inside of here. I like to open mine up and line up the edge of my cardstock with that line to try to get it straight-ish. This pattern is kind of fun. And of course, I think it just moved. But anyway, it's kind of like a diagonal. Again, looks a little bit like wallpaper. But but it gives it kind of a kind of subtle pattern in the back there. All right, to get this embossed, we need to use our number 1 plate, the base plate, and then the number 4 specialty plate. If you've had this for a while, this might be blue. Mine is gray. That's just going to go right on top of there. And I'm going to roll it through my cut and emboss machine. Put some muscle into it. And there we go. So now we have this pretty, it's almost like, okay, don't hate me when I say this. Come on. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. It does not want to. It's almost like paper towel. I hate to say that, but it's got a very like papery, it's got a paper towel look to it. Let's just be honest. But I like it still. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use some Bounty on my card front. So I'm just going to take this and I am going to adhere this to my card front. I'm going to put a little extra adhesive on because it is embossed. And this is going to line right up on that left side. And now you can see I just have that little tiny bit of the Calypso coral showing. And I like to kind of like put it between those two because then it just looks like a little bit on that side too. It doesn't, you know, disrupt the look on the inside, and you don't have to deal with a teeny, teeny, tiny strip. So there we go. Now it's just a matter of finishing this up. So let's do some stamping. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. A chenille bedspread. That, yeah. All right, I'm going to pull out some vanilla cardstock to work with and my stamps. We're going to bring my stamps in. I'm going to get out some Calypso coral and petal pink. 2 of my favorite colors. And I need a piece of scrap paper. And I think my scrap paper is gone missing. Where did it go? There it is. All right. And I need some scrap paper because we are going to stamp off. So I'm actually going to use the same color, both stamps for my flowers. So this is a 2-step stamp set. And normally you could use 2 different colors. I'm going to use the same color, but I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to start, actually, you know what? I'm going to start with the detail piece. I'm going to ink that up in Calypso coral and stamp it on my very vanilla. And then I'm going to take the like inside one, inked that up in Calypso coral. I'm stamping it off on my scrap paper and then stamping it on my image. I did the detail first because it is darker, so it makes it a little bit easier to line up because it's darker. All right, so there's one flower. The other flower is going to be petal pink, and I'm going to do the same thing. We'll take this, I'm going to ink up the detail part, and then I'm going to ink up the inside bit and stamp it off on my scrap paper. And then get it lined up. When I am lining these up, ooh, this is upside down. There we go. It's hard to see, but right now my pinky fingers are resting on the paper, and I am very, 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 very close to my paper without touching it. And I'm using my pinky fingers to stabilize my hand. And then I just slowly set it down to get that nice stamp. So there's my 2 flowers. Not even going to put centers in these, but we are going to cut these out with the dies. I'm going to use my mini machine. So I'm just going to cut this off so it'll fit in my mini. Let's bring in the mini. The mini machine is nice because it's portable. But it can be a little bit more persnickety to use, but I'm going to show you the trick. And actually, the more you use it, the easier it gets, I find. So I'm going to put down my number 1 plate and then my number 2 plate. My number 2 plate, I'm going to pull it down just a little bit from the end. I'm going to add my cardstock. We're going to get out the dies that are over here in my packet. Ooh, and I had extra pieces in there and they are flying. That is one of the things I miss with this new packaging. The new packaging is nice. It takes up a lot less space. but I used to always keep my extra pieces that I cut and made. I kept them in the stamp cases, and now that's just not working quite as well, but we'll see. I do like that they are going to take up less space. Might have to like put them in an envelope inside there, but I feel like if I put them in an envelope, I will not use them because it'll just be one more step to get them out. All right, put those aside. So we're going to line this up, and I'm going to use a sticky note to stick these down. So let's see. Now, if you like card sketches, and I love card sketches, especially when I am using brand new stamps. They just make it so easy because they've already kind of taken some of the guesswork out of it for you. You can kind of see like, okay, this one's going to use this size, and I can just pull out the stamps I have, grab some paper, and like the layout's already done for you. So absolutely love the card sketches. And I love them so much that I joined up with a couple friends, my friends Julie and Jackie, and we have written a book that is full of card sketches. And I keep pulling that off like where it's supposed to stay. That is full of card sketches. It is absolutely amazing. And it's available over on my website. And it's got all the sketches in there. It has samples of the sketches, all that kind of good stuff. All right. So now when I put the top plate on, I almost forgot to tell you, the second number 2 plate, I put it all the way to the top to line up with the white. So you can kind of see it makes like an E or a C. The one in the middle is lower and the other 2 are lined up. And that's just going to help you get it started. So we'll roll that through, rolling, and it makes my table shake, which is the other problem with the mini machine, is then it makes everything shake. All right, I'm going to pull these off. And then we're going to cut some leaves as well. But look at those flowers. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. All right. So now let's cut some leaves. I have some more pieces. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow and a piece of Old Olive. I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow first. And I'm going to cut this this big leaf. The die set has a couple of large leaves in it. I'm going to cut this one out of the Mossy Meadow. So before I cut the Old Olive, though, there is one more thing that I want to do, because this other leaf over here, it has very fine, thin leaves. I don't know what to call it. It doesn't have a lot of space to adhere things down. So I'm going to use some adhesive sheet on this. Now, normally I would have a full size, like, I don't know. I didn't. It's okay, because we're going to end up cutting off part of this anyway. So I just have some adhesive sheet. This adhesive sheet is like 2-sided sticker. So you pull it off and just lay it on your cardstock. And then there's another piece here. And you just push that down on your cardstock. And now you're going to cut that out. And it is going to turn your die cuts into a sticker. I'm going to put that on there like that. Actually, this is going to have to go this way. I'm going to trim this off. Oh, I think I just did that wrong. That's okay. It's fine. It's all good, because I was going to cut that part off anyway. All right. So we're going to run this through. Unfortunately, you can't purchase the hard copy of the book, Vicki, but you can get the digital copy, and that is over on my website. So it's available in hard copy or in digital form. All right, rolling that through, and then we can start. Oh no, we have to do a little bit more stamping. A little bit more stamping to do, and we get to use my absolutely favorite new item. Absolutely, like even more favorite than the paper. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is, or if you can guess what it is. All right. You don't have very long though, because I'm going to use it as soon as I get my cardstock out. All right, so we're going to pull out my absolutely most favorite newest item in the catalog, which is the new 3 Banners punch. I love this punch. I have used it so much already. Yeah, it's fabulous. It cuts banners. Yes, you can cut little strips of paper and you can cut the banner ends yourself. But oh my goodness, it's so much easier with a punch. I love this punch so much. All right. So I'm going to punch out some banners. And it has a fabulous stamp set with it too. I'm not using it tonight, but stamps are awesome as well. I'm going to use this one. And we're going to stamp I Love You in Mossy Meadow. So this is from that Words of Beauty set. I'm not going to use the just or the because. I'm just going to use the I Love You. All right. Let's start building this card front. I'm going to take actually, we're going to start with this one. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to lay this out kind of, does it coordinate with more than one stamp set? So it's designed to coordinate with one stamp set, but it's sized in such a way that you're going to find there's lots of stamps that are going to work with it. I just use this Words of Beauty. That is not the stamp set that it goes with. It is bundled with this stamp set, the Banner Sayings, but there's lots of stamps that are going to work with it. So, all right, I have my old olive leaf here. Now here you can come in and peel off that back. Remember we put the adhesive sheet in there. So we can peel this off and now it's like a sticker. Oh, I said I was going to dry fit this and I didn't. All right, we're just doing it. We'll dry fit the rest. So I'm going to add my leaf to the front. And then this leaf, I think, is going to go in here. And then we're going to do like flowers in here. And we're going to add our sentiment, and it's going to be fabulous. All right. So that's what we're going to look for. So I'm going to add these leaves here. Now these ones, I want to come in on the top. It's like my favorite thing to do. I want to come in and add some dimensionals. So to some of these top leaves, just to kind of, pop them up. We're just going to do those. Well, let's do this one too. I love putting things on with dimensionals on one side and then glue on the other so that it almost looks like it's growing up out of the cardstock. So then I can take my green glue and add some green glue over on these other leaves. I keep wanting to call them petals, but this is a leaf. It's a leafy branch. And so, all right. So this gets adhered on here. And I think, haha, I did it. Didn't get anything where I didn't want it. So we'll just hold down the bottom for a minute where that glue is. And then I'm going to add my flowers with dimensionals. And these will get all the way popped up. It's just the leaves that I wanted to kind of make lopsided, I guess we'll say they are. All right, so we're going to add some flowers here. Again, my other flower. We're going to bring in one of my favorite trims right now, which is not new, but it's the one I've been using constantly, which is the Petal Pink braided trim. But I don't like to use it as a braid because it's really thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece long enough to tie in a bow. And you do have to cut it for this one. Normally when I'm tying bows, I don't cut it first. I tie first and then cut second. And I'm going to pull out 2 of these strands. So it just very easily comes unbraided. And once it's unbraided, you can just take it and pull those out. And now you have like twine. You have pink twine. And who wouldn't love some pink twine? So this I'm going to tie into a bow. I have 2 strands here, so it's kind of like nice and big. When I have 2 strands, I like to pull one bow smaller than the other. So I'm just going to grab one little string on both sides and pull it. And that just is going to make your bow look a little bit more full because the bows aren't the same. The loops aren't the same length. So they spread apart instead of sticking together. All right. So we have our whole bow going down here. I'm going to put this on with a mini glue dot. Now, don't worry. I know it is like we should be talking Christmas here, and I am making floral cards. I don't care. I love florals. I am unashamed of the fact that I absolutely just love floral cards. So I don't like to grow flowers. I like to stamp my flowers instead. But what I was actually saying is, don't worry. I have Christmas card samples to share with you as well, because I know many of you are like thinking, but it's Christmas time. We should be doing Christmas. Fine. All right, I'm going to put dimensionals on this because one side is going to hang off the edge of my flowers. I'm going to stack these dimensionals over here. So put one on. I peeled the back off, and I'm going to bring in another one and try to get it as lined up as I can. And so now it is stacked too high. Can you see that? We have like a two-dimensional stack, and we're just going to put one on the other side. And that's because this side, it will be on top of the flowers, and this already has a dimensional under it. This side is going to be flat on the paper, and it doesn't. So that's why we need to have 2 on one side. And hopefully I was correct when I put how I was. All right. I always worried that, oh, did I put it down upside down? No, I did not. All right. So we're going to add this. Oh, and of course that ended up right on top of my bow, which is right where I did not want it. Everything's coming apart. It's all good though. All right, let's get this bow back on here. It's all good. I'm just going to pull it over a little bit more. There we go. All right. So there's that. And then we're going to add some of those pretty new pearls. You do get sick of just Christmas cards. Me too. I like Christmas and I like making winter cards, but really, I love florals. So, and these are like a wintry floral. I think this would make a beautiful, what do I want to say? A beautiful Valentine's Day card. I don't know who I would give it to because I don't think it would work very well for my husband, but it'd be a really pretty Valentine's Day card. All right, I'm going to put some of these little pearls on here. They're so pretty. They're so beautiful. I'm going to put one up here as well. There we go. There is our fun fold card from a really simple card sketch. Get some of my junk out of here so you can see it. Isn't that pretty? So easy. And it's just got that fun little, all right, let me show you my other samples. This one is with the modern Christmas paper. So it is black, white, and gold. Here's one of our Christmas ones. This I embossed with the Forever Plaid embossing folder. You can kind of see that. The ornaments I cut from the modern Christmas paper. So I just cut them out. I embossed the joy. Now this joy is from, let me show you, and I'm going to show you another card with this as well. It is from this Keeping Tradition stamp set, which is designed more as like a scrapbooking stamp set, but I love, 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 love the fonts in this stamp set, and it just immediately drew me in. So that's where I grabbed that joy from, and I embossed it with gold. So pretty. Added some gold and black trim to the top. Really easy. All right, here is the other card that I made with the Keeping Traditions. And this one I stamped a lot more on it. So I used the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper over on the side, embossed with the Forever Plaid again. I just really like the Forever Plaid. When I have really like busy pattern paper, I like to use a very straight, like straight lines to go with it. And so that is why I think I grab that Forever Plaid so often, because it gives you that nice straightness to go with the organic feel of the greenery on the other side. I cut the piece for the sentiment with the Stylish Shapes dies, stamped the Holly Jolly. I stamped these little bits, put those on. We have some shimmer foam stars. Those were like from a Halloween suite, but they work great on there as well. Check out this little stamp. So this set does not have dies. I fussy cut these. I did not fussy cut each of those little divots. What I did is I took my 1/16 inch hole punch. All right, I took my 1/16 inch hole punch. After I stamped it and I cut it out in a rectangle, I went around and I punched around the outside. It was pretty quick and easy, pretty painless. So there's my other Christmas card. And then I have one more floral card. And this one might be my favorite, actually. So this is with the Gallery Blooms stamp set and the, I think it's called Beautiful Gallery. I'm not sure what the pattern paper is, but it's the coordinating pattern paper. We're using this for the December online card class, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I colored the flowers with Calypso Coral and Lost Lagoon. This leafy bit is in the dies, and I cut that out from the patterned paper. So this has actually got just a little bit of texture on it because it's from one of the patterns. That's a very subtle pattern. I embossed the back with the Damask embossing folder. And then this is one of the sentiments from the coordinating stamp set. And I punched it out with that 3-banner punch. So again, lots of sentiments are going to fit in there. So there we go. There are my 3 cards using that same very, very simple card sketch. We have the sketch, and it magically turned into 3 cards. So quick and easy, or 4 cards, I should say. So quick and easy, so easy to put together. And that's why I love card sketches. They're just great. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. They're all stunning. Jen, thank you. That's so sweet of you. Kathy, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm going to be back next week, Tuesday. Well, I won't really be here next week, Tuesday. I will be here in spirit. You will see my face. You will see some new card ideas, but it will not be live. I'm going to be out of town. So next week, Tuesday nights, Stamp With Me Tuesday is going to be pre-recorded. It will launch right at 8 p.m. Eastern, though. And we are going to be making a fun fold, another fun fold that is super cute. Absolutely love it. So I hope that you will come join me next week as I make that card. So I have a fabulous week, and I'll see you next week in spirit. And then I will be live again in 2 weeks. So have a great evening, and yeah, stay warm.